Hi, everybody. Jay Booksbam here with my dear friend.
Gabe Gatter.
And we're here to talk about summer wines. And we're here at Cork and Slice. And what have we got in front of us? Some really interesting food.
Well, exactly. As a change, not just wine, Jay. We've got some great summer fare, something refreshing, delicious.
What she told me, it's got it's got watermelon radish, and it's got orange slices, and it's really fresh and lively and summery. And so I guess we're going to be talking about summer wines.
Oh yeah.
What do we got over there?
It's a tuna tartare with papaya and mango. Sounds really delicious to me. I can't wait to try it.
Me too. So let's do this. What do we have up first?
So it's the summer, right?
Right.
It's so hot. It's been actually hot.
And
They asked
us if they wanted to bring us real wine glasses, with the stems. And you very smartly said, wait a minute, this is about summer. We're going to be sitting out in the backyard or around the pool, right? So why do we need stems? In fact, we don't want stems for the summer fare, right?
That's right.
So these are stemless wine glasses, which are fine.
Yep.
And I actually learned from the guy who writes for Robert Parker, the most famous wine writer on planet Earth, that he uses only these for tasting. But go ahead, tell me what our first wine is.
Okay, so we're gonna start with a wine from Israel.
Okay.
Still very much on our minds, on everyone's mind. Our good friends in Israel who are going through some really rough time. Hopefully it will end soon on a good, as good a note as possible. So from our good friends from the Domaine du Castel winery, the Benzaken family, we have the La Vie Blanc du Castel. Same for me.
Now this is a slight departure from the first iterations of the La Vie whites. The first iteration of the La Vie whites were a blend of various kinds of wines, a whole bunch, right? But this one is more of a, not singular, but more of a straightforward, mostly Sauvignon Blanc, and what else?
And just 5% Chardonnay to run it up, a little bit.
What I find interesting about this, I don't know how they made it, but it's got a lot of fruit in it, almost like, a very lively Sauvignon Blanc, not an austere Sauvignon Blanc, a real more fruity-driven Sauvignon Blanc. Maybe that's coming from the Chardonnay. You tell me, what do you think?
I think that, they really take the fermentation perhaps a little bit cooler, which gives the fruit, the primary fruit, more of a front seat, and that's where you get all that freshness, those delicious fruit, the grapefruit, the lime, and it's really it's so refreshing.
Let's see if it goes with summer salad fare. Okay.
Oh yeah.
This must be the watermelon cress. I don't know. Whoop.
Here on Kosherdotcom, we talk about wine, and actually Jay and I, we always taste the wine on the show. But there's a lot of cooking shows, and they spend a lot of time cooking. However, they don't spend that much time eating. So we're gonna just change it up and eat a little bit.
What I find interesting about this salad is the radicchio
Let's put it back in front.
is quite bitter. And so, I think the acidity, I'm going to take a little bit more, the acidity is what answers that bitterness. At the same time, though, you have this orange, which gives it that fruit. So you have the balance in the dish itself of both the fruitiness and the acidity, which I think actually does do a good pairing. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's a good pairing for this salad.
There's two sides to pairing wine. One side is really to make the wine and the food marry together, really go together, and add something to one another and create a wholesome experience. The other side of pairing wine is not necessarily to make the wine match the food in terms of the flavors and the texture, etc., but to the contrary, make it in a way that it's not obtrusive. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna drink this wine, I'm gonna eat this food, and I don't want the wine to be an issue with the food that I'm eating, and I want the food to be an issue with the wine that I'm drinking. And I think that in this particular case, we have a wine that's delicious, that we're enjoying it on its own, and at the same time we're eating this delicious salad that we're also enjoying, on its own. And there's no clash here. It's just like, wow, I'm drinking good wine, I'm enjoying myself, I'm eating good food, I'm enjoying myself, and that's just as important, if not even more important than
what's also nice specifically about this wine is that because of its fruitiness and also its well structuredness, it can go with a wide variety of stuff, and even because it's not heavy. And it's not thin, but it's not heavy. I mentioned this Saturday night on a different big reveal. It's not thin. It's got good fruit, but it's not heavy, and so it quaffs well as well.
Right.
Just on its own. Okay. Right. What's next up? While I open this, tell us about this next wine.
So we have the Herzog Méthode Champenoise Rosé. So, as the name implies, this is a champagne method. It's made like champagne, but it's not from Champagne, France. It's made from Pinot Noir, which is one of the three main grape varieties that are used in Champagne, either on their own or as a blend of 2 or 3. And great for the summer. What I like about sparkling wines, dry sparkling wines in general, they can match pretty much any type of food, whether it's this tuna tartare or that salad, or if we're having something fleischig, like whether it's veal or chicken, will still go great together. It would not even be an issue with steak.
There's something very special about this specific one, though, and I want everyone to know. Besides the fact that it's 100% Pinot Noir,
yes,
it comes from 100% estate vineyards.
Yeah,
it comes from Clarksburg, which is the Herzog's own vineyard. So they control, the winemaking team controls the quality literally from the ground up, from the growing up. And there you go. I'm gonna pour you first.
Thank you. And there is something that's legacy related to this wine, which is something very important to the Herzog family. The vision for this wine was initiated by the late Joe Hurliman, and his successor David Gazzignato really took it over and has been doing a great job making those sparkling wines since he.
Now, just to teach everybody what you're looking for, I've done this before, but I think it's important to repeat what you're looking for, and I always do about the 5 S's, but in specifically, sight, smell, savor, swirl, etc. Here you don't want to swirl too much because you don't want to lose those bubbles. But what you're looking for in good sparkling wine is the activity. How much activity is there? And the more activity, the better. But also how tiny the bubbles are.
Yeah.
If the bubbles are really tiny, that makes the wine more elegant, hopefully, in your tasting of it. And we shall find out. So I'm just going to do a little swirl so I could smell it. And you get, wow, this is really interesting because I get both strawberry and also some rye bread.
Yeah.
Some of that yeasty, rye bread kind of aromas that you when you walk into a bakery and the bread is rising. It's really, wow. You wouldn't expect that. I thought it would be all strawberries. It's not.
Right.
It's got both of those elements going on.
Because it's Champagne method, usually Champagne method wines are aged on the lees. The lees is the yeast once it dies, and after the fermentation has occurred, the yeast goes all the way down to the neck of the barrel in this specific case, because that's how the wines are aged in the winery. They're like downwards towards the neck of the barrel, and all the dead yeast, the lees goes all the way towards the cork, and then they freeze. They freeze the neck. That's how they remove the yeast eventually at the disgorgement phase.
And we're going to do a whole thing on the whole disgorgement and secondary fermentation and method champenois at a different time. But I will tell you, you're right about this. The wine is quite universal in its appeal. It's a great summer wine. It'll go with a whole group of different foods. But also, again, if you want to have a really upscale, fancy pool party,
Oh yeah.
or barbecue, or
Nice
just
kiddush,
afternoon kiddush
outdoors.
in the backyard, or pre-Shabbos tayamehu. This is really, forget the scotch for once.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with herring, this would go good.
I'll tell you something, a little personal story here. Just a couple of weeks ago, at Shul, I was one of the alcohol/wine sponsors. Every week, someone else takes care of it, and usually it's always booze. It's always scotch and bourbon, things like that. And that week we had, one person brought scotch and bourbon, and I brought wine. One of the wines that I brought was the Herzog Méthode, that's the regular, not the rosé, and the Rima Père Sauvignon Blanc, and it was gone in 5 minutes. One of the reasons it was gone in 5 minutes is that people were so happy because the women who usually they don't drink so much whiskey, so they usually
Tread carefully, my friend.
Right. They usually don't partake
These
so
days.
much. I know, but they usually don't partake so much in the.
Yeah, that's
the
because they're
alcoholic
smart and they're getting ready for Shabbos,
Exactly.
while we guys are just
Yeah. And they're being responsible, taking
they're being
care of the kids.
responsible. Exactly.
Whereas
we're
the
totally
dad-
irresponsible, right?
So they're so happy that they had some great wines that they could also enjoy because most of them did not want to
Imbibe
drink the whiskey.
with the whiskey. Okay. Last up, this is the last wine for the summer. I mean, there's so many, and there's sangria from Elvi in Spain, and there's rosés from California, and Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand, and I'm just trying to name a whole bunch of wines that. The Chenin Blanc from
Right.
Herzog, unbelievable. So many good, and a great variety of not only flavors but also price points that you can buy from. Like the Chenin Blanc is under $10, all the way up to some great champagnes that are $100. From Rothschild, the rosé champagne is an example. But finally, we're going to get to a red, and you would think that summer fare wouldn't lend itself to a red. You picked these wines, so tell us why you picked Hagafen's Pinot Noir
Okay.
as a red
So-
for summer wine.
Pinot Noir in general is a great variety that has a thin skin with lower tannins than, say, Cabernet Sauvignon or Syrah, for instance. And that gives wines that are a little lighter in body, a little easier to drink. That, especially in the summer, you want to just drink slightly chilled. Put it in the fridge for like 20-30 minutes before drinking. And it will go also with a pretty wide variety of foods, such as all the things that you drink at a barbecue or in the summer, such as could be like tuna tartare, for instance.
Well, let's get
grilled
the tuna.
chicken wings.
Let's get the tuna tartare. By the way, thank you to Cork and Slice for allowing us here today. And this is I don't know if you can get a picture of that. This is a tuna tartare with papaya and mango. And we want to thank the Safaniev family for allowing us to use their space to do this swirl here at Cork and Slice in the Five Towns. This is a tuna tartare with papaya and mango. Great summer fare.
Let's have a taste of this wonderful wine. So Agafen Winery is an estate winery. Not all of their wines are made from estate-grown grapes, but it's in the heart of the Napa Valley. It was the first fully kosher winery established in America in 1979.
In California.
Yeah, in California. That's right. 45 years ago. Wow.
And I'm happy to report that when I was 9 years old,
Yeah.
that gives away my age, I actually brought Ernie Weir's wine to New York. I'm saying 9 because I don't want to tell anybody that I'm actually 91. But no, really. But he made great wine back in those days. It's pretty much all estate, almost all estate. This is part of his estate vineyards, I believe.
I actually not sure.
But I want to add something.
Estate Ball, so yes.
But I want to add something to what you said before about a wide variety of foods and slightly chilled. Because of the rich fruit that you get out of his particular Pinot Noir, this can go with burgers.
Yeah.
This can go with burgers, especially if you're going to have your burgers the way they should be, which is rare. You know?
I know.
You're going to have them rare. I'm telling you, this is a really good burger wine, too. Fun with hot dogs and fresh sauerkraut and maybe, sweet relish.
Would be wonderful. And then, nice with tuna and salmon and all those things. Even
Ernie,
some
what
soft
a job
cheese.
is he doing? What I love also about Ernie's wines, besides the fact that you could really identify Hagafen wines, as, consistently, just like kind of Herzog's Alexander Valley or
Russian
Chalk
River.
Hill or Russian River or Chenin Blanc. You really can identify his wines year after year after year, but also the great balance of fruit and structure and flavor and, it's just a great balanced wine.
Amazing.
It's really, really well
amazing.
done.
It's a really varietal. That's
I'm going to make fun of you. Varietally,
Again,
varietally.
true Pinot Noir. There's no mistake. You smell it, you taste it. This is Pinot Noir. It's California Pinot Noir. As Jay said, it's wonderfully balanced. There is not too much this, not enough that. It's really perfect.
I'm going to pour you a little bit more because we're going to see you for the next big reveal. We're going to talk about wines that go great with Shavuos Fair.
Yep.
So, but for now, we want to wish everybody a wonderful summer and please, God in heaven, Rabbeinu Shalom, please, let's see the safe return of the hostages immediately and the cessation of all hostilities. L'chaim.